Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is MS Collections. Thank you always for stopping by. If you are new to the channel, this is me saying a very big welcome to you. Please do well to subscribe to this channel, like this video, do not forget to share, and most importantly, turn on your notification bell so you get notified when I drop new uploads. Okay, and for all my returning subscribers, a big thank you to you for stopping by. In today's video, we'll be learning how to make a cone flare blouse. Okay, as you can see in this picture, if this is what you're interested in, please stay tuned as we continue. Okay, please grab your pattern paper, which I have done already, and I've marked my basic bodice lines. I'm just going ahead to label all the parts of my markings. I have my chest line, I have my bust point, I have my half cut, I have my waistline, and my hip length. Okay, because it's a full blouse. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to mark my nipple to nipple measurement on the pattern paper, or the client's nipple to nipple measurement, and that is 4.5 because the client is on a plus side. Okay, so I'm going ahead to mark it. As you can see, draw a straight line across and just go ahead, and from the center piece I went in by 1 inch, the side piece I went in by 1.5 inch. I'm just basically going to be marking a princess cut bust. Go ahead and draw your lines. Okay, and just so you know, I have videos on my channel on how to mark princess cut bustier. If you've not checked it out, please do, so you have a better understanding. So you can see what I've done. From my half cut to my waistline, I connected a straight line, and then down to the hip I connected as you can see in the video. And I'm going ahead to use my pattern ruler to create my bustier curve. Okay, and then I'm going ahead to connect the bust point to the center of my armhole line. Okay, then from the center of my armhole line I came down by 2.5 inch, and I'm going ahead to connect for the final creation of my princess that bustier. Okay, so you can see the bustier cup is already being formed. I'm going ahead to extend the armhole to meet the second line so I don't have shortages when I'm done cutting. Please follow the video carefully and do as I've done. Next thing, I'm going ahead to even my cup to avoid the any pointed edges. Okay, so basically that's that. Like I said, check out my videos on the channel on how to mark a princess that bustier, so you have a more detailed explanation, just in case you don't know how to come about these lines, or maybe your armhole, whatever. Please do check those videos on the channel, and I'm sure you won't regret it. Okay, so next up, you can see I'm marking 1/2 inch from my half cut to my waistline. That's because I just want to snatch it a bit. Okay, yes, so it's like an 8 pieces blouse. Okay, because we're going to be dividing the center, but I decided to snatch out 1/2 inch at the half cut and the waistline, just to give that place a little bit more fitting. Okay, so I'm connecting it to the bust point, and then downwards I connected to the hip, as you can see. So next up, I'm going to be marking my client's measurement. Her waistline is 38 inches divided by 4. That is going to give me 9.5. Okay, so I'm going ahead to mark it as so. Then I'll be marking the measurement for the hip as well. Her hip is 50 inches divided by 4, that's 12.5. so I'm going ahead to mark it, as you can see. And then the same thing for the bust. Her bust is 44 inches divided by 4, that's 11 inches, and I'm going ahead to mark to replace the allowance I took for the dart intake. Okay, that's 2.5 inch for the half cut and the waist, and then the hip. Every allowance, just measure the space you have that you use to create your bustier curve. Okay, in between these darts, you can see, go ahead and replace on the hip. That's what I did. I've gone to play, okay, not just the hip, every part, the bustier, the half cut or the waist, and then the hip. Okay, so for this dress I used the half cut measurement all through to the waist. Okay, so that's what I did, and that's what I have marked out. Please take note, I've not added any seam allowance. There's no joining allowance for this dress. I've not added it. Okay, next thing I'm going to be doing is to, from this bustier point to the end of the dress, I'm going to be marking the middle point. Okay, so please watch the video carefully and pay attention to what I'm doing so you can see what I'm measuring. Mark the middle point, okay, and connect. Now I'm doing this because I want my dress to 6 pieces. Okay, so by the time we count, we're going to be having three on both sides. The center is going to be divided into 2, the side is going to be divided into 2. Okay, so we have 1 2 3 1 2 3, making 6 pieces for the front, 6 pieces for the back. Okay, so by the time we're done, you see what we're talking about. So this is it. Go ahead and make sure you get the midpoint. All right, just try to be as accurate as possible. And another thing I also advise, try to make sure you have the same width with the center piece. Okay, just in case you are on a small side or whatever size you are, just try that your center piece, you're having at least the difference between your center piece and all these other side pieces are not so obvious. I don't know if you get it. I'm talking about the sizes. Okay, so this is what I have after I've done all my divisions. Okay, so if you want to snatch your dress for that, fine, go ahead, but I don't want to snatch much on this dress. Okay, and please also note that snatching is totally optional. If you don't want to snatch anything from the dress, just go ahead and divide your dress as so. Okay, basically. All right, so this is it. At this point, I'm going ahead to add my seam allowances for this dress. Okay, so whatever seam allowance you want to use, feel free to use. Okay, now please take note of what I'm doing. For this dress I added 2.5 inch for seam allowances. Okay, you can decide to use more or less depending on how you sew. All right, so after done that, I'm just going ahead to extend my bustier line because I want to mark my side dart. Okay, I went down by 1.5 inch from the bustier line, from the bust point rather. I came down by 1.5 inch and I went ahead to connect as so. We are basically done for the drafting of this dress. It's very simple, guys, and I did not mark the neckline here. Follow me carefully so you see how I will go about that. And please take note that this is the part 1 of this video. The part 2 will contain the sewing part, so you want to stay tuned. Do well to turn on your notification bell so you get notified when I upload the video. Trust me, you don't want to miss out. You're not going to regret it. And if you haven't liked this video and you've come this far, I wonder what you're waiting for. Do well to smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, okay, and I'll be glad you did. Thank you so much. I'm going ahead to cut my pattern, as you can see. Do not forget to add your allowance for the blouse length. I don't know if I mentioned that in the video. Do not forget to add the allowance for your blouse length. If you don't add it to the pattern, add it when you are cutting your fabric. Okay, so this is it. I've cut out my center piece, and you can see if my paper was divided into 2, you'll be seeing I'll be having 2 pieces for this side, but because my pattern paper is not divided into 2, you'll be seeing that when I cut it on the fabric. And then the next part I'm going to be cutting is the number 2 part. Okay, do well to also label this pattern if you are not so familiar with the patterns after they are cut, please do well to label the patterns so you don't get confused. Okay, now I want to cut out this side piece. You can see the small allowance. I didn't cut the exact thing because of my side dart. When after I cut my side dart, I'll go ahead and retrace and then cut as exact as possible. I'm going to be, you see I've closed up my side dart. I'll tape it down and then I'm going to just even the lines so that they align properly. Okay, so I'm just taping it down with my pins. So as you can see, I'm done cutting it out. You can see 3 pieces here. Okay, so when you have it in 2 places, you know that's the 2 sides, you're going to be having 6 pieces. Okay, yes, so 6, that's it basically, guys. That's it. I'm just going ahead to carve the down, and as you can see, choose whatever height is okay for you, and even carving the down is actually optional. While I was making the dress, I kind of wish I didn't carve it, okay, but it's optional. Okay, if you want that height, you know, up, go ahead. If not, you can just leave it as so. And this is it, guys. We have piece 1, piece 2, and piece 3. Okay guys, so I'll be going straight to cutting on my fabric. Yes, you're wondering why I didn't cut the back piece on pattern. I will go ahead and cut it directly on my fabric. Just watch as I'm going to be doing that. Okay, so I'm using a crepe fabric for the upper part, and I'm using a lace lined with a doll face for the cone. Okay, so whatever material you have to use, go ahead and use. Okay guys, I've gone ahead to cut my patterns on the fabric, as you can see. Yes guys, do all to cut. For the sides you're going to be joining, you can just add your seam allowance. I saw on 1/4 inch, and that's why my seam allowance is on 1/4 inch. Okay, so by the time I open it up, you see how many pieces we have. you can see I've cut them. I'm going ahead to fold my fabric to cut out my back pieces. Okay, please just watch carefully, and it's very simple. If you follow me on the channel by now, you should be familiar with how I cut out my back pieces. Okay, so for the center piece, I'm just going to be adding my zipper allowance to it. That is just it. For the center piece, as you can see that I've placed, I'm going ahead to add my zipper allowance. I'll be using 1.5 inch for my zipper allowance, and then do not forget to take out your back dip between between your half cut and your waist. Okay, take out ½ inch for your back dip. Okay, just watch carefully and see how I'll go about it. Okay, now while cutting the back, take note of how I'll be cutting it. Now when I got to that side, I had the bust. You can see how I raised up the bustier, side. Okay, so just raise it up and continue your curve. We don't need any bustier for the back. We don't need any bustier shape for the back, so go ahead and do what I did while I was cutting. Now I'm taking my back deep. Do take yours as well. Okay, so for the side pieces, I'll just go ahead and show you what I did. This is the number 2 part of our pattern, which I've cut out. As you can see, I cut out the exact same thing. Okay, the only difference was there is no bustier attached to this, so this is it. Okay, so you can see what happened here. I just closed up the bustier, and then I just cut that shape, using my center back piece, to make sure the curves are aligned. Okay, next up, I'll be cutting my number 3 piece. My number 3 piece, I'll be cutting it exact, because that doesn't carry a bustier shape, and that carries my seam allowances for the dress. So do well to cut it exactly. Okay, as you can see me do. And basically that's all for the back piece. You can see how really simple that is. This is very simple, and I really do hope you're gaining a lot from this video. If you are, do well to give me a thumbs up. Okay, and if you haven't subscribed up to this point, I really don't know what you're waiting for, but this is me reminding you to please subscribe. Okay, thank you. Okay, so last but not the least, we'll be going ahead to cut our cones, and this is very simple. Please watch the way I'm folding this paper. Okay, you just need to fold it like a triangle. You don't need it too wide, and I'm going to be folding the length of the cone I need. Now calculate from where you want the cone to start, which should be like 2 inches after your half cut, or from the waistline. If you want to start from the waistline or 2 inches after your half cut, go ahead and calculate the length. Okay, and then added mine was 8 inches in length, so I added 1 inch for allowance. Okay, please take note that the length of your cone should be from where you want it to start on your blouse. Like I said, mine, I wanted it to start 2 inches after the half cut. If you want it from the waist point, fine, and then measure from that point to your actual blouse length. Okay, not your seam allowance, your actual blouse length. So I had mine at 8 inches, and then plus 1 inch allowance, 9 inches, and that is exactly the length I cut for this cone. I'll go ahead and cut it on my lace, and that is it, guys. Alright guys, please stay tuned for the part 2 of this video. We'll be making this dress. Okay, I'll see you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Okay, so if you follow the pattern and you've cut already, this is the stage we are in. At this point, I've gone ahead to join all the pieces. Like I said earlier in the pattern, it's best you label all the pieces. So we have about 6 pieces for the front piece. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, so join all the pieces, and as you can see, I didn't join to the end. Join and stop at the point where you want your cone flare to start from. Okay, so I explained that in the part 1. If you have not watched it, please check it out, and do not forget, if you want to pad your bustier, go ahead and pad it, which I did in the video, and this is what we have. This is what this looks like, and the same thing for the back piece as well. Go ahead and join the pieces, and make sure that you join them up to the point where you want the cone flare to start from. Okay, yeah, so this is what you should have by the time you are done. For the back piece, I used my hairstay and my paper gum, so feel free to use whatever interfacing you want to use. The same thing for the lining. Whatever you do to the fabric, do to the lining as well. Okay, so you can see this, guys. Yes, I'm just going ahead to show us. Yes, that's it. Make sure you join up to this point, and then of course give it a good press. Okay, so the next thing I'll be doing now is to cut out my neckline. Remember I said in the beginning of the video, it's an asymmetric neckline, and I did not cut it until I was done joining. So there are different methods to this. This is also one method you can try out, and it worked out fine. So cut your neckline to whatever desired depth. The depth I used there was a depth of 7, and then I just went ahead to create the asymmetric curve as you can see in the video. Go ahead and do same for your fabric, and then the lining, just so you don't confuse yourself, you can just go ahead and pin this front piece to your lining and then cut out the neckline. Okay, so you know the right side to cut. So when you're done, pin your linings properly and then stitch, and then you can trim out your neckline. I hope you get what I'm saying. And the back piece, no need to bother. It's not symmetric at the back, so that's it. Okay, so what I'll be doing right now will be to join the shoulders, which is what I tried showing. Just join the shoulders, and then you see I've already attached the lace to the neckline. I just cut it straight. So by the time you join the shoulders, go ahead and measure the length you have on both sides. That's when you join the front and the back. Measure the length you have on both sides. Just cut this fabric. It's just a straight cut. I just made it straight and then attach, and I attach all this before the lining. Then after attaching it to the dress, I'll use my lining and turn it over. I hope you get. It's very simple, guys. And the length is also as desired. Whatever length you want to use, you can make yours smaller. I think I cut mine by a little over 4 inches, almost 5 inches. So that's it, guys. And do not forget that it's a lace fabric, so I line the lace with a black doll face. You can line yours with a black satin or whatever fabric you want to use, that's fine. Okay, guys, so look at this. Look at what I have here. I've pinned the lining. I'm just going ahead to show you. And do not forget, I didn't say it earlier, I've already shaped the dress. So after joining my shoulders together, I also shaped the dress to the measurement of the client. The same thing for the lining. Shape the lining to the measurement of the client, and I've pinned everything together. So every fabric has its lining piece, and that's what I'm showing you. If you can't see, just zoom in and then you see what I'm doing. I've pinned everything. Make sure you pin everything and it's very flat, okay? Very flat, so that you don't have any inconsistencies when you're done turning. And when you've done this, go ahead and stitch it, okay? Stitch the down. You can use 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch depending on what you want to use, okay? Stitch it. I also shorten the lining by 1/2 inch, okay, so that the lining doesn't pop out when I'm done, okay? So do that as well. And by the time I was done turning, this is what we have. The neck has been turned, the down has been turned. Guys, you need to work with your iron very closely on this project. So you can see I've begun to fix some of the cones. Okay, I didn't mention for the cone. I'm sorry I didn't capture the making of the cone. It was kind of an emergency. But for the cones, okay, I used collar gum for the cones. So I used collar gums to strengthen the cones. I already showed you how to cut the cones. Just use collar gum, and then look at how I turned it, okay? So I turned down, turned one side and brought it out through the other side. You can see that I weaved the cones, okay? So I weaved one side of the cone, okay? So it's very simple. Just turn your cone, and then you can see also the sides of the dress. You can see the sides that I weaved them. So I only turned the down of this dress and brought everything out, and then I weave the sides of the pieces of the dress, okay, to make it very simple and easy for me to turn. And then I sew the cones, brought them out with one side, and I just top stitch. That is all, okay? So you can see what I'm trying to show you. Just go ahead and top stitch carefully on top of these places, those openings you have, okay? It's very simple, guys. Okay, guys, so just carefully watch. If you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the comment section and I'll attend to it. So this is the back view. Like I said, just turning, weaving the sides. It's very simple, very simple, trust me. And just stop stitching is a very simple method you can use to achieve these cones. There are many other methods, but feel free to try this method out and give me your feedback on how it worked for you, okay? And we are done. So we are done with the dress, okay? Basically that's it. I didn't capture the fixing of the sleeve, but feel free to use whatever sleeve you desire, and we are good to go. I just also attached my zipper and finished up my dress, and this is what we have at the end of the day. Isn't this looking cute? Yes, it looks cute, and at the end of the day it made a beautiful fit on the client. So yes, guys, I really hope you learned from this video, and if you did, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to like. Do not forget to turn on your notification bell so you get notified when I drop new videos. I always drop amazing content, and check out the part 1 of this video. I'll do all to drop the link in my description box. And also, just in case I did not emphasize it. For the cones, I used a color gum, but feel free to use whatever hard interfacing you have. I also used for the lining of for the cones, I also used a hard interfacing. Okay, you can decide to use any hard interfacing you have that will just give you a stiff result. Okay, and then by the time I flipped everything over, it gave us this structure. Okay, so thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Do not forget to stay safe and have a blessed day. Bye.